There's my dog. I'm gonna try to maybe about that, so hopefully that'll be a good angle. Sorry for the upside downness. Okay, so I'll just go until my camera's done filming or the battery is done, whichever. Okay, so I'm gonna sharpen up my beaver knife. See if I get this done before the dark. And okay, so I've never done it this way. I used to always hang them, so your knife is going to get really dull really quick. Try to keep as much of the pelt as possible, so right where the foot and the pelt meet, try to keep that. Oh, because this thing didn't freeze, it might be kind of bloody, so make sure you don't get any blood on the fur as much as possible, which will probably stop as it cools down a bit out here. So I don't want to cut that, but and then we're going to take the foot off. Now, there's going to be a big graphic, but yeah, I'm going to do some careful where I'm cutting. Yeah. Okay. Oop. So, trying to take the foot off here. Might have to do a little more twisting. Oop. A little bit of twisting, a little bit of cutting. Yeah, just about. You're going to take all 4 legs off as much as you can. And there you go. Now, I've seen a couple of ways of doing it. Okay, so I'm committed now. Okay. And then beaver knife over here. Maybe I better get another rag. Be very, very gentle when you're coming up the belly, because the it's not hard to go into the gut. Definitely not something you want to do. Holy bloody. I didn't leave this outside to cool, so that's why. But I figured it's going to thicken up as I go, so there we go. And give a twist. Oop. There we go. Watch your fingers when you're doing this. Okay, and this, it's cutting in, it's hitting that bone and all that stuff that really dulls up your knife really quickly. So you're gonna keep your sharpening stone on hand. Okay, that's one way to do it. And, but try to leave the pelt as far down as you can get, like right to the pads, because when you go to tie up the legs, you want to make sure you have enough there. Come on, let it go. There you go. And beaver are probably one of the harder animals to work on, in the sense of they're big, they're fat, they're really heavy. Again, for an animal that's a vegan, why are they so heavy? I have no idea. There you go. Now it's about 3:45. I've seen some people skin beaver really quickly, and your first one, take your time with it. You don't need to go crazy with it. There we go. Okay, I'll keep these. Have a look at the foot. There, hopefully you guys can see that. That's how they swim. Okay. Keep your gloves nice and wiped. We're going to go around the tail. I'll give it another couple of swipes on that. I got to get this done before the dark. If I can get him skinned today, I'm okay. I still got to see what stretcher he's going to go on. My hunch is going to be an extra large. Now, when you're doing the tail, Try to stay below the fur if you can. In this case, I'm going to be taking the tail right off. So I haven't done this method before. On the back, just be very mindful on the back. That's where the good stuff is. Try to keep the blood off the pelt. Yeah, and when they're warm like that, they bleed a little bit more. But the blood kind of dries up as you go. So right around, right where the pelt meets the... Okay, so I'm going to try it this way. Oh, that's nice and clean. Perfect. There's a beaver tail. I'm going to keep that. I might try fleshing that out. Okay, now get some of this blood off you here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop that into the snow like that. Okay, so that's... we're getting there. Okay, now I'm going to keep it like that. Get another go on the knife. I wonder how many times my grandfather used this to skin beaver. just quick sharpen up these beaver skinning knives. Everybody has their opinion on them. I love them. I think they're great. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of half hang his remainder part, just so the blood goes on the ground and not here. My dog will like that. Again, we're gonna go high on the paw. Front's not as bad to take off. If you can help it, try not to saw. Me, I'm racing against the sun, or lack thereof. Okay, and again, leave your legs, the pelt on the legs long. Watch your fingers. You can take your finger off about as fast as that. So with these things, they are that sharp. So, oh yeah, meat cuts first. Make cuts first, then take off the paw. Okay. Oh, this one came off. Yeah, there we go. So I'm gonna do the switch out. Oh, there he's starting to bleed a bit. My hunch is this is a female, so they could be a little bit tricky to sex when you haven't seen one in a long time. It's like, is it a boy? Is it a girl? Now, here's the technique thing. Tomato. Some people, well, you're going to split them right down, and you're going to go around the genitals, around the anus, both sides. Okay. Some people go from the bottom up. I've always went from the bottom up. Some people go from the top down. Your mileage varies here, but I'm going to go with what I know. And be very careful around this part for two reasons. You're near the guts. Okay, that's pretty bad. But you're also near the beaver glands. And the beaver glands, or casters, okay, you poke into them, it's a mess. And you're losing money when you do that. So the idea here is to open them right up. This is what you call, it's not a cased pelt. This is a open pelt. So we're going to go around the anus. It's very blubbery. So you might have to work really well to make sure that you're around it. I usually try to get fairly close, but there's a bit of a membrane there that you want to get around. So, okay. So yeah, did I cut into the caster? I hope not. I'm bad for that. Now the big one is right here, because if you even put as much as a pinhole, he opens up, and beaver guts can cover this entire yard. Yeah. It is a very, very nasty thing to cut into. Dog won't mind, so just nip it. You might need a strong knife. Some people use filleting knives and nip it. Try to be as straight as you can, for obvious reasons. Now, is this a boy or a girl? I'm going to find out in a little minute here. Might be a boy. Beavers are kind of hard to... some of the males and the females are like the same size, so yeah, the males typically will be bigger, but I caught him last night, or her. It's a her. I guess it's a her. Caught her last night. And you don't steal my beaver feet. You'll get a beaver leg. I'm gonna keep a beaver leg for myself. Well, I haven't. Somebody asked me if I ever had beaver meat before. Yeah, beaver meat's good. It's pretty good. Greasy, very fat and greasy. I had it barbecued once. Barbecued beaver, very, very, very good. Watch your fingers. Again, always make your cuts away from yourself. Sometimes you get some stringy stuff here. I'm gonna try this knife. This knife used to be my main opening knife, so this one's a little more rigid. Oh yeah, here we go. And yeah, a little sharper too, because I haven't sharpened up the other one in a while. Problem with the stainless knives is you need, you know, a good what you call it, a good sharpener, a diamond sharpened file set. Okay, a little unorthodox here. Hopefully my camera angle's good. That dark, I don't want it to get dark. So I don't think I'll be doing this in 5 minutes, but if I can get it done in a half an hour or less, I should be okay. Just to skin it tonight, fleshing it, that'll be tomorrow night. I still got to finish fleshing the raccoon and put it on the board. And you can't quite do them in the order you get them. Sometimes you have to, like the raccoon, I had to wait till it was thawed out to skin them. And around the neck too, there's still like the cheeks are really fat and everything.